Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be on here and kind of update what's going on in our garden. I know that I haven't been posting as much as I used to or should be. Our daughter's been really sick lately. She does have focal epilepsy that she battles on top of her white matter disease. So right now it's just been a really difficult time trying to get her health reasonably under control. So aside from that, everyone else is doing better. She's home, so life is good and we're grateful. And I just want to kind of give an update on the garden because it's growing so much, so fast. It's just a big season of growth and change for everything. So right here is our Muscadine Grape. This is our second year having it, and last year was just a little twig, it looked like. It is growing so much. All this is new growth because it goes dormant every year. And I'm just so amazed by it. It's even trying to take over the blackberry trellis. So I think the plan is like right in this area right here to go ahead and run a fence in front of it and just let it have at it. It'll be such a beautiful way to kind of give it a nice fenced off and shaded area for where the kids' clubhouse is. Here we have, I'll kind of zoom in some. Look at this. This is also a plant. I don't know how old it is, but it's our second year to plant it. It was a 1-gallon plant last year. These are the Arkansas Traveler Thornless Blackberries, and they are absolutely breathtaking. The berries are so big, and this one's starting to kind of pinken up. This video just doesn't do justice to how much. This is all new growth because I cut this one down. So all these berries, that's all from this year. Look at that. Can we go up? Can you see it? No, we can't. Pollinator's flying off. We have a pollinator over there on the dill plant. All these really delicate flowers here are actually our cherry bell radish blossoms. It's really cool to watch them kind of grow up and take off and seed. This one's up to my waist. This is one of my favorites. It's the same blackberry, except for I have 12 of these plants, and this one for some reason started producing pink flowers. And I have been in Southeast Texas, so we've seen all different types of blackberries, wild dewberries, you name it. I have never seen one this pink before, so I'm definitely going to be propagating this plant and making more of these if the berries are as good quality as the other ones. If not, maybe I need to work on kind of mixing the genetics of the two. Getting some large berries with some really pink, beautiful blossoms. So far, the berries actually really don't seem to be developing much on these plants, so that's kind of sad and disappointing. But hey, what can you do? Unfortunately, sometimes you have to pick utility over beauty, or you have to kind of figure it out until you can manage to get both. This is one of our dill plants. The other one is way taller. I'm almost 5'5", and the other one is just skyrocketing over the top of me, and this one's well on its way. These just planted were seeds this season, so they've just grown out of nowhere. You can see all the beautiful new growth, some more blackberry plants. Down here, there's so much going on. We have some rutabaga growing. Here's a pretty... There's one growing right there. There's another one, it's mostly underground, but it's growing. Have a lot of lettuce growing all throughout. See all of this different salad mix just taking off. This one's actually starting to seed. This was I want to say it was a Buttercrisp head. They're one of my favorites, but they're so sensitive. They just start to wilt as soon as you pick it. So it's really a really fresh eating lettuce. This is a lima bean. I've never in my life grown a lima bean, but my first grader brought home 2 lima beans, so we planted them in the garden. So guess what? From now on, we eat lima beans whether we like them or not, because when your kid is interested in gardening and eating the food that he grows, you do what you can. You can kind of see there's some native plants and weeds growing through, some more lettuce. This is a Paris cause lettuce. I didn't know this until this year, but cause is apparently just a fancy American word for romaine lettuce. I've heard romaine my whole life. I don't know anything better. You can see they're pretty good size. This right here is a Four Seasons lettuce, a marvel of Four Seasons. It's a French variety, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I wish you could see it in person, because I'm telling you, the red is just amazing. We have a tomato plant going here. I don't know what type it is, because I mistakenly took a whole bunch of tomato plants. I planted them, but I took all the markers out of them. I bought them as starts. The local grocery store had them for $1.50 a piece, and they're massive. Here's our little cherry tomato producing its blossoms already. Look at that. I just never would have thought these radish flowers would be so beautiful, but they really are just breathtaking. They're simple and gorgeous, all in their own way. Down here you can see all of these little plants right here is German chamomile. I've never grown it before. I buy it, but during COVID it got really hard to find at our store. So I decided to grow it, and it's one of the best things I've decided to do. It's so amazing. Here's some baby beets. There's some giant Swiss chard mixed in there. Another tomato plant. Our starts are already taking off. And here's some leftover peas. I already pulled the peas out of the garden for the year, but these are just clinging on. So that's kind of funny. Here's the buttercrisp lettuce. You can see how it kind of heads up. These are starting to bolt, but they really do kind of make a little cabbage-like head on them, which is pretty nifty. This came from a spicy lettuce mix. Here's another kale plant. Speaking of kale, over here is that Scarlet Red Kale. It is the deepest color purpley you've ever seen. That doesn't make sense, but it is. I wish it would do justice. It really is one of the most pretty kales. And during the winter, it gets a deeper maroonish purple. It's amazing.